officials, and essential employees to be physically present. The public may view this meeting, submit comments on an agenda, or submit a public comment through Zoom webinar meeting. Please click on the Q&A icon in the Zoom meeting screen to submit the public comment. Public comments will be accepted until the conclusion of the public hearing on each item. Please make sure to include the number or name in the comment. Comments will be limited to 300 words and will be entered into the official commission meeting record. Public comments are to be accepted now. Please submit your comments as soon as possible. You do not need to wait until an item is called to submit a comment. Comments will be read during the meeting. Commissioners, if you have any question or comment, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized by the chair. Only one person at a time may speak. Thank you. Appeals of the final decisions of the Planning Commission made this evening must be filed in writing with the city clerk before 5 p.m. Monday, May 30th, 2021, and must include the payment of a filing fee. All right, roll call, please.
I believe we already did roll call.
Do roll call. I'm sorry. See how good I'm doing tonight. So then let's move to the first item, and that would be the minutes from last meeting. And at this time, do we have any comments? Anyone wish to pull an item? Okay, hearing that there's none, let's go ahead and have a motion for the minutes.
I move to adopt the minutes.
Second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Circo, seconded by Commissioner Pollock-Rude. Please vote.
Commissioner Bias?
Yes.
Commissioner Pollock-Rude?
Yes.
Commissioner Morose?
Yes.
And Commissioner Circo?
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0.
All right, fantastic. Our first agenda item tonight is agenda item number 2, and it is the Linwood Mobile Estates. The request is to add adjacent property to the mobile home park and construct a solar array. This is CEQA exempt, and staff recommendation is approval. Staff.
All right. Can everyone see my screen? Just want to make sure real quick. Awesome. All right, good evening, commissioners. This is the Linwood Mobile Estates project submitted by Shortbreak Energy Developers Incorporated. And the project proposes, again, to incorporate an adjacent parcel into the conditional use permit for the Linwood Mobile Estates mobile home park. It also proposes to construct a large solar array and a new concrete masonry unit, or a CMU wall, along the project boundary. It also proposes an open space area and garden for park residents under that proposed array, and no additional mobile homes are proposed with this project. The general plan designation is the low medium density residential mobile home general plan designation. The zone for the project for both properties is the residential multifamily 4,300 square foot zone. And both of these properties are within the mobile home overlay zone already as well. So this project doesn't propose any changes to zoning or to incorporate a new site within the overlay zone. Just a really brief recap, the mobile home overlay zone was adopted in 1993, and it's unclear in the project record why this property wasn't necessarily included earlier on in the conditional use permit, or why it necessarily received the overlay designation, but it did. And so here we have the site aerial. You can see that 1285 East Washington is the Linwood Mobile Estates Mobile Home Park. And then if everyone can see where my mouse is, 1312 Granite Hills Drive is the proposed additional parcel. That additional parcel is approximately 0.35 acres, which would be added to that mobile home park. And this is probably not the best format to view the site plan, but this is the proposed site plan. Again, you have Linwood Mobile Home Estates, and then at the southeast corner is that proposed additional parcel off of Granite Hills Drive, 1312 Granite Hills Drive. And then you have a zoomed in site plan showing the existing home on that parcel and the proposed solar array. So just some brief context and land use discussion. Linwood Mobile Estates is currently pursuing other permits for roof and ground mount solar at the park. I believe they've already been issued building permits for those. And so this project kind of rounds out their plans for their solar improvements for the park. The project site that's proposed to be added to the park has been under the same ownership for many decades. And it's currently utilized as RV parking or vehicle storage. And it does have a vehicle gate access into the mobile home park. Technically, vehicle storage is a non-conforming use in the RM 4300 zone and in the mobile home overlay zone. But it's been used as such for many, many decades. And you can see in aerial imagery dating back to 1985 at the earliest, that basically RVs have been stored at that property. And as I mentioned, that site does include an existing single family unit as well. In terms of development standards, again, no additional mobile homes are proposed, and so no additional parking is required with this project. Pursuant to the mobile home overlay standards, a new 6-foot CMU wall is proposed along the eastern property line, bordering the adjacent residence. Once a note to add here is that once this parcel is included in the mobile home park, any new development there is actually subject to Title 25 standards rather than RM 4300 zoning standards, for example. So things like setbacks, distances between structures is actually different between Title 25 and what zoning code would require. And the last thing to mention here is that a map action is required to run utility connections from that proposed solar array back into the mobile home park, basically to consolidate the lots. In terms of CEQA, it's proposed that this project is exempt pursuant to section 15303 for new construction, which includes accessory structures such as the solar array. And staff's recommendation is to adopt the next resolution in order, approving the CEQA exemption and CUP number 2020-0013, subject to conditions. And we're here to answer any questions you might have.
All right, fellow commissioners, anyone have questions for staff? Okay, looks like that's pretty straightforward. How long has that mobile home park been there? I was just curious.
You know, I was trying to find the file right before the meeting. I believe the original CUP is number 106, if I'm not mistaken. So it's very early on. It's a very early CUP number, many decades.
Very cool. Any other questions for staff? Okay, do we have any comments on this?
Yes, we do have a request to speak from Amy Epstein.
Great, okay.
Hey, Amy.
Oh, I was just going to tell you that the park has been there since the late 60s. It was built in the late 60s, early 70s by my grandfather.
Very cool. Well, it looks like it'll be nice to get some solar panels there and make a little bit more power, huh?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for all your efforts.
No problem. Any questions for Mrs. Epstein? Yes, Commissioner Serco.
I was reading in the report, there's a description of a garden or open space underneath the solar array, but I also read a possibility that it could be used for vehicle storage. Is there a leaning in one direction or the other?
You know, we just haven't quite seen how high everything is and how it's going to lay out. We think that RV storage is not going to work out because there would be too much banging into the structures and whatnot. So I'd say we're probably leaning a lot more towards garden type open area.
Okay. And solar arrays are really good shade structures. It's been put to really good use in the school parking lots in El Cajon and across San Diego. So I laud the open space for people to hang out in.
Absolutely.
All right, if there's no other questions for staff, no other comments at this time? From any members of the public?
No other requests to speak or public comments submitted.
Great, okay. All right, well, at this time then let's close the public hearing.
Is that a motion?
Yeah.
Should I second it?
Yeah, I'll motion to close public hearing.
I will second that.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Moreau, seconded by Commissioner Circo. Please vote.
Commissioner Moroz,
Yes.
Commissioner Circo,
Yes.
Commissioner Pollock Rude,
Yes.
and Commissioner Valles.
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously 4-0.
All right. Well, at this time, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion. Unless you guys have questions for staff. Any more questions at all? Comments, concerns?
No, this is a property that's owned by the same people that own the park. It's been used in conjunction with the park for decades. And in order for them to utilize the solar energy being generated on the back portion of this parcel in the park, the two pieces have to be one lot. So it makes sense.
No, I agree. I agree. Would you like to make a motion?
Absolutely. Happy to make a motion. I move to adopt the next resolution in order approving CEQA exemption and CUP number 2020-0013, subject to conditions.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Circo, seconded by Mrs. Valles. Please vote.
Commissioner Moroz,
Yes.
Commissioner Circo,
Yes.
Commissioner Pollock Rude,
Yes.
and Commissioner Valles.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0.
Great. All right, at this time we're going to go to agenda item number 3. And I believe, Barbara, we have some business to take care of first.
Yes, before we start item number 3, I need to recuse myself as I work for Shadow Mountain. I'll join you when you're done.
All right.
To accomplish that, he'll be turning off his video, but we'll continue to listen as we do in the chambers.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Well, agenda item number 3, project name is Shadow Mountain Athletic Field Improvements. It is a request for replacement bleachers, field netting, and arch entry feature. It is CEQA exempt and staff recommendation is approve. Okay, Ms. Devine.
Thank you. So the item before you today is a request for athletic field improvements by Shadow Mountain Community Church. The improvements that are proposed to the baseball fields include the replacement of existing metal bleachers with concrete bleachers as part of a grandstand, new netting behind home plate, and an arched entryway feature at the top of the stairs leading from the parking lot. The general plan designation of the property is parochial school and school playground and field, and the zone is a residential single-family zone, RS20. The property is governed by specific plan number 523, which is intended to govern the church and school use and facilities on site. The proposal is for a minor amendment of specific plan number 523. The minor amendment is normally an administrative process reviewed and approved at the staff level. However, this project was noticed to the community and there were comments received that were adverse regarding the project. So this has been elevated to the Planning Commission for your review and decision. The project site is located at the southeastern corner of Greenfield Drive and East Madison on the eastern side of the city. There is an east and west campus as part of the Shadow Mountain property. This would be located on the east campus in the area identified here, which is the southeast portion of the site within the baseball fields. The east campus is approximately 34 acres, and the baseball fields just comprise a portion of that and are associated with the educational facilities as part of the school. This is an entire site plan of the East Campus, and highlighted here in the box are the location of the improvements that are shown here in this darker hatched color. And then you can see in relation to all the other buildings and improvements, including parking lot and access from Greenfield Drive. This is an enlarged site plan showing the location of the new concrete bleachers or grandstand. This will have approximately 300 person capacity. The existing metal bleachers is estimated to have about 190 person capacity. So this will provide a little more space for spectators of the game. And over here on the left-hand side of your screen is the location of the new arched entryway feature, which leads from the parking lot through some stairs. And then the netting would be located here behind home plate. These are some cross sections of the proposed improvements. And I'd like to note that there was an error in the staff report regarding the height of the canopy as well as the bleachers. There was an issue with the scale on that particular plan. So I'd like to note that the actual height of the proposed bleachers is approximately 16 feet from grade, and the height of the canopy just to the rear is approximately 28 feet in height. And then the entryway feature is approximately 24 feet. You'll see it here and here. This is a rendering of the proposed improvements. You see here at the top of this screen, this would be a view of the new bleachers or grandstands as viewed from the field, including this new canopy structure. And this is the west elevation, or the view if you were looking at the residences adjacent to the ball fields. That would be the view that they would have. You see that instead of just an open metal bleacher structure, you now have more of an enclosure, a little bit more privacy there. And then this is the arched entryway feature. So all of these structures would be finished with an off-white stucco, and the design is intended to complement the other buildings on the campus. So we have heard from several community members regarding their concerns about this project. Primarily, these concerns have related to noise as well as parking, traffic, and congestion. We did ask the applicant to address some of their operations and if there would be any changes with the proposed project, and there's an attachment in the report that addresses some of that. I'll note here that operations are not proposed to change with this project. The use of the baseball fields for practices and games will remain as it is. And according to the applicant, practices are held daily at approximately 4 p.m. in the late afternoon, and also on Saturdays at 1 p.m. They do have about 75 to 125 individuals who may attend a game as spectators, and that is not expected to change with this particular project. There may be larger numbers if it was a special playoff game or championship game, but those would be on rare occasions. There is an existing parking lot that is adjacent to the ball fields that is used for anyone coming in attendance to the game, and that's more than sufficient. And the games and practices are also held at times when parking is readily available. It's not during peak hours when the school or the church facilities are in high use. So there aren't any current congestion or traffic issues that have been noted in conjunction with the operations of these fields. I do know that there are, continued reported issues just overall with congestion and traffic in and around church functions and events. However, there's none that are currently noted in relation to these fields. Another concern that was raised that I'd like to address here is regarding lighting. There is no proposed field lighting as part of this project. Any proposed field lighting would require a full amendment of the specific plan, and that is not part of this project. There were some community concerns raised regarding the use of temporary lighting that had been brought onto the sports fields. That was brought to the attention of the Shadow Mountain administration, and they have stated that that was in error and that has been discontinued. So there should be no temporary lighting on the fields as well. Just to conclude, this is really a replacement facility of an existing, bleacher and part of ball fields that were part of the approved specific plan for Shadow Mountain. So this project is consistent with the use that's approved, as well as the operations are approved as part of the specific plan and are not proposed to be changed. The architectural design does complement the existing campus buildings. As I mentioned, there is no field lighting, and any field lighting would require a full amendment of the specific plan. The project is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act as part of a Section 3 exemption, which is for the conversion of small structures or the construction of small structures. And staff's recommendation is to adopt the next resolutions of order, approving the CEQA exemption and minor amendment to the specific plan for the subject project. And that concludes staff's presentation. I will note that there are several comments, as well as there are some members of the applicant's team here as well, should there be any questions. Thank you. And Darren, I think you're muted.
Thank you. At this time, do any commissioners have any questions for staff?
I just have one quick question on the where the bleachers, that bleacher section is that a new wall that's going in behind it as well?
I can bring that back up again. The wall is part of the canopy structure. So it is new behind there, but let me. You're referencing this portion, correct?
Yes, that looks like the back side, like on the other side would be where the bleacher is, correct? Okay.
Yes, so it's part of this canopy structure.
So currently it's just open to the metal bleachers or whatever that exists there now?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Can you bring up the picture, the actual pictures of the metal bleachers that are there real quick for me?
I don't have that on the presentation. I believe that's in the staff report.
I do have that. So what I was noticing there is it looks like not only are the metal bleachers going away, but you won't see that big old chain link structure that's there as well, correct? Because you're going to have the back of the canopy, and then you'll have the netting in front, so it kind of hides it a little bit.
That's correct.
Okay, great. Okay, excellent. All right. Any other questions for staff, fellow commissioners?
I just have a question. The seating capacity that's currently there with the bleachers, what is that in comparison to what they're putting, the 300 they're putting in?
I understand that it's approximately 190 existing capacity. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Well, if there's no more questions for staff, let's open up the public hearing. And I know that you read all the comment cards from the public. Are there any more at this time, or just those?
Yes, we have some written submitted comments. Would you like me to read those?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay. These comments are from Brian Detweiler, and this is regarding the Shadow Mountain project lighting. Lighting for the project is my biggest concern. All lighting installed should only be activated during an event and turned off after. My question is specific to the structure lighting, not field lighting.
Great. Excellent. Well, that's a great question, and we'll talk to the applicant about that. Okay, and that was it. Was that it for comments then?
Yes, I don't see any other hands raised or comments submitted.
Okay, well then let's go and open up public hearing, and the applicant's representatives are here, correct?
That's correct. We have with us Brian Snow, Trev Holman, and Drew Hubble on the applicant's team.
Okay, great. So I'll just direct this towards Brian then. They were concerned about the lighting staying on all night on those structures once the game is over. Is that going to be an issue, Brian?
That will not be an issue at all. Can you hear me?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Yeah, we will ensure both through lighting sensors and through our staff security that those are not on out in the evenings when there's not an event going on.
Fantastic, thank you. Great, and it's a great design. Looks good. It looks like it will actually help with sound to the neighbors.
Yeah.
Because now you'll have the blocking of it.
If I could tell you that part of the need for this arose when, we really do have a lot of fly balls that get into the neighbors' yards, backyards. And so we're trying to add the netting as well to try to help with that. So I think this will reduce noise and fly balls.
Great, oh, that's fantastic. Any other questions for the applicant, fellow commissioners? Okay, seeing that there's none, I appreciate it, you guys. It looks really nice. The colors look great. I think it'll be a lot more pleasing aesthetically to the neighbors, for sure.
Thank you.
I do just have a comment for the applicants. Just in looking and being a longtime spectator myself, being at my son's games when he was a child all the way through adulthood, I can tell you that seating capacity really doesn't dictate how many people come. I'm going to go watch my son whether there's a seat on a bleacher or not. So I think it's great that there'll actually be seats. People don't have to haul their their folding chairs. And it also, I've been on metal bleachers and I've seen kids fall through, adults fall through. So I think this appears to be a much safer design as well. And also makes it easier to clean up trash and debris that normally falls under bleachers that people never go hunting after. So, and I'll second what you were saying about the sound. That's why I asked about the wall being there before, because I think that will help mitigate a lot of the crowd cheering or, when a great hit happens or something. So I think that may help with some of the noise issues that the neighbors may have. And it'll give them something nice to be looking at from the other side as well. So I just wanted to add that, those comments.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Baez. Anybody else?
I just had a quick question. The netting that's going over that, is it more like a shaded netting than because it looks like it's shaded a little bit, or is it just open netting over the bleachers themselves to help with the fly balls just on the stands as well?
Would you like me to answer that?
Yes, please.
The netting is actually not over the bleachers. It's in front of the bleachers to keep the baseballs from coming into the stands.
Okay, the picture's a little deceptive there. So because I saw that it curved over and then I didn't know where that was attached on. So it's a nice design though.
Thank you.
Great. Any other comments, questions for the applicant? All right, thank you, gentlemen. Very clean, nice looking project. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, I'll go ahead and make a motion to close public hearing.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Moreau, seconded by Commissioner Baez. Please vote.
Commissioner Moroz,
Yes.
Commissioner Serco. Oh, he's recused. Commissioner Pollock-Rude
Yes.
and Commissioner Baez.
Yes.
Motion carried 3-0 with 1 recuse and 1 absence.
All right. Well, we've got enough for a quorum. So at this time, I'd like to go ahead and move to adopt the next resolution in order, approving the CEQA exemption and MA 2021-0001 to specific plan number 523, subject to conditions.
I'll second that.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Moreau, seconded by Commissioner, I think Vaez first. Please vote.
Commissioner Moroz,
Yes.
Commissioner Pollock Rude,
Yes.
and Commissioner Baez.
Yes.
Motion carried 3-0 with one recusal and one absent.
Thank you very much. All right, and you guys have your project. Thank you, guys. All right, at this time, we have no further agenda items. Commissioner Serco is back. So, staff, we have communications here.
I would like to just announce that we'll be canceling the August 17th meeting this summer. So feel free to make vacation plans if you need to for August. And we currently do not have any items tentatively scheduled for the May 4th meeting, so that meeting will likely be canceled as well. I don't have any project updates for you. However, I did want to offer to the commission that if all commissioners want to move the meetings to in-person meetings beginning in the month of May, that's an option available to us. We just will not have the online participation available. So it would simply be an in-person meeting and folks would have to come in person in order to participate.
Awesome. Well, I'm definitely for that. I'm ready to get back on the dais, especially after this first meeting of Zoom. It's nice to be in the mix, fellow commissioners.
I second that.
Yes, and there's no lag time in live meetings.
And Commissioner Vaez, your thoughts?
That's good because I do spend a lot of time staring at a screen all day doing telemed. So it's nice to see real people once in a while too.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you'll have to talk to Commissioner Sotile, but it sounds like we've got a 4-0 vote here.
Excellent. Well, I will definitely speak to him. And if so, then we would proceed with in-person meetings at the next meeting.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if there's nothing else, then I guess we can look for a motion to adjourn. Anyone want to go home?
I make a
motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, was that Commissioner Pollock Rude that made the motion? You kind of at the same time. Okay. A motion made by Commissioner Pollock Rude, seconded by Commissioner Vaez. Please vote.
Commissioner Moroz,
Yes.
Commissioner Serco,
Yes.
Commissioner Pollock Rude,
Yep.
and
Yes.
Commissioner Baez.
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously, 4-0.
All right, and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. We will see you
soon.
in person next time. All right.
Shocking. Have a great evening, all.
Thank you.